In this video, REIT for Beginners, or Real Estate Investment Trust for Beginners, I'm going to break down for you what a REIT is, when to use it, how is it used. I'll go through all the steps with you. I'll give you the pros and cons. And lastly, I am going to compare a REIT investment versus a formal real estate, commercial real estate investment, so that you can see which one is best for you. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with the what. What is a real estate investment trust, or a REIT? These are companies that buy, finance, and manage income-producing real estate. It can be a property of any type, like an apartment building, self-storage facilities, office buildings, shopping centers, all different types, okay? Secondly, the REITs, just so you know, are modeled after mutual funds, basically, right? So basically, when you invest in a REIT, the REITs basically pull money from other people so they can buy various properties, like a mutual fund, right? They buy various companies and they pull all that to one investment and create one real estate fund, so to speak. Okay? So I want you to think of a REIT like buying a stock or getting shares of a real estate portfolio. Okay? Now, two things to notice here, three things here. Number one is a REIT can be publicly traded on the stock market, or it can be a private REIT, right? Where it's not registered with the government. Okay? Number two, 90% of all cash flow by law of a REIT must be redistributed to the investors. Okay? That's a law. That's the IRS code. And number three is just an easy way for you to jump into commercial real estate without owning the actual property. All right. So next, what I want to do is break down for you the process of how a REIT works. Let's do that next. All right. Here's how REITs work. Okay. I'm going to explain to you in 5 simple steps. Step number 1 is the investors, that's you buy the REIT shares. Okay. That's step 1. Step number 2 is once the money goes into the REITs can now buy properties. Okay, that's step 2. Step 3 is once they buy their property, they're going to collect the REITs will collect the income. Okay, that's step 3. And step 4 is the REITs will pay distributions to the investors. That's step 4. Step 5 is the REITs sell the properties. Okay, a liquidity event. Then that's the end of the REIT. There is no set time period for a REIT to end, but this is the end of the REIT. Okay, so that's how it works. It's much like investing in a stock. All right. Okay. So next, what I want to do is go over with you what are the pros and cons, what are the plus and minuses, what are the advantages and disadvantages of REITs. All right. Let's do that next. Before I go into the pluses and minuses or the pros and cons of investing in REITs, I need to give you a little bit of context. Here's the context. This is known as the 75-75-90 rule that all REITs are under per the IRS. Okay? All right. So the first rule is that REITs must invest 75% of all assets in real estate, cash, or U.S. Treasuries. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, REITs must derive 75% of its gross income from rents, from interest on the mortgage, if it's a mortgage REIT, or when they sell the property. Okay? And rule number 3 is REITs must pay a minimum of 90% of their taxable income in the form of a shareholder dividend. Okay? So that's the 75-75-90 rule that all REITs have to be under. And this will make a lot more sense now when I get into next the advantages and disadvantages of you investing in REITs. Let's do that next. I'm going to share with you now the reasons why you should consider investing in REITs, and also I'll share with you the other side, the potential downsides to watch out for and to consider, okay, if this is for you. All right, so number 1, let's go over the reasons to invest in REITs. Number 1 is to get monthly or quarterly passive income. So REITs pay a dividend. Okay, every period they pay a dividend. So, and it's passive. There's nothing for you to do other than write a check and then wait for the check. Okay, so there's passive as all you can be. And remember, as I said a few minutes ago, a REIT is a great way to get started in commercial real estate without owning the property. Okay, and again, there's pros and cons to that. All right, number two, REITs are more liquid than buying a property. Let me explain. Since a REIT is like a stock, when you invest in it, if you want your money back, you just go online into your REIT account and you ask for the money back. It's that simple. When you buy a property, you can't do that, right? Because you're putting in a down payment. In order to get your money out, you're going to have to refinance, you're going to have to sell it. So it's not as easy as a couple of pen strokes on the computer. Okay? All right. Number three, the third reason is it's a great way to diversify your investment portfolio. Okay? Do a little bit of stocks here, a little REITs here, investment in actual real estate here. So it's a great way to diversify your investment portfolio. Okay? And number four, at times, REITs can produce some really attractive returns for the passive investor. Now, to see what type of returns are out there, it changes quite a bit because there are so many different types of REITs. The place I like to go to just to check on what the big guys are doing and get a general trend of the market for REITs is I will go to REIT.com. If you go to REIT.com, it's a lot of material. All the major REITs, the players are there, and you can see what the performance has been over the last 10 years. Okay, so check it out if you're interested. All right. Okay, next what I want to do is go over the downside to investing in REITs, which I think are great. All right. Number one, the first downside is you're subject to stock market volatility and fluctuations. Okay, remember you're buying a stock. Okay, so if the CEO of the stock does something stupid, guess what's going to happen to your value? The value of your stocks is going to go down. So you're subject to that. Okay. The second downside is you're also impacted by interest rates. As all of us here, right? When we invest in something today, we're paying this much higher interest rates as we were 3 years ago. That means our returns on investments are lower than they were 2 or 3 years ago. Same thing with the REITs. So the REITs are also impacted by the interest rate. So when interest rates were lower, they could pay more. Now they're higher, they pay less. Okay? And they're also subject to inflation. Okay? Like the rest of us. So property taxes have gone up, insurance has gone up, utility has gone up, labor has gone up, which impacts our holdings, their holdings. Everyone gets impacted by what's going on in this country. Okay? So, and REITs are not forgiven because of this, because of REITs. Okay? All right. And number three, this is a big one for me, are taxes, income taxes, okay, so to speak. So when you invest in a REIT and you get paid a dividend, it's treated as ordinary income. That means you pay taxes on it, okay? Even if you put the money back into the investment and let it grow, whatever you're paid, you're taxed on it as normal income, like getting a job income or any type of stock income is treated like the IRS would treat any other income, okay? So it's different than buying a property where, you can write off the income. Here, you can't really write it off, okay? All right, now, the one way around this of paying taxes on every dividend you get is to invest it into from a 401k, IRA, or maybe a 403b, okay? That way, talk to your tax advisor. That can be a way for you to avoid or defer paying taxes on your dividends from your REIT. Okay? The fourth one is paying high fees, or paying high fees because of property management of the asset, or the transactional cost of getting into a REIT. The brokers or the REIT guys have to make money, so they charge fees. That's how they make their money. So the property management fees and transaction fees could be high. And so you really have to pay attention to that. All right. Okay. All right. So those are the pluses and the minuses of REITs. Which one is for you? All right. So now what I want to do next is I just want to do a quick comparison of if you put your money into a REIT or if you put your money into real estate, just a quick couple points of what the advantages of each are. Okay, all right, let's do that, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, we're going to wrap up this short video. I'm going to compare for you a REIT investment versus an apartment investment. Let's get started. All right, so here you are investing in a REIT. You can invest as little as $1,000 or $5,000 just to get started. Okay, so just register online and you deposit your money and you're off and running. Okay, it's that simple. With buying a commercial property, for example, I'm going to use a 12-unit apartment building, you need 25%, okay? Unless you're going to do some form of creative financing, all right? So requires a lot more money than this, okay? And then number two, for the investor in a REIT, there's no credit check. So they may want to check if you have a certain, in some of the more advanced REITs or more restrictive ones, they may check your amount of your income and your net worth, but for the most part, there's no credit check, okay, for the REIT. Of course, when you buy a commercial property, the lender is going to check your credit, your net worth, and also qualify the property, okay? Now, for these two, I know this is a separate topic, these two are required when you buy a property, but unless you do some form of creative financing, which we really enjoy in our company, I had to bring this up. So these two are a bit different when you do something creative, okay, which we love to do. Okay, number three, for a REIT, there's no management duties. So you won't be managing and making any phone calls, attending any meetings or anything like that. You have no responsibilities, no duties, right, other than to yourself, okay? When you purchase a property, of course, you will learn or have to manage the property manager, okay? Something we teach our students to do. All right. Number four, for an investor REIT, there are really no tax benefits. So once you get paid, you got to pay taxes. Okay, there's no write-offs, so to speak. Okay, and when you buy a property yourself, there's huge tax benefits. Also, there's one other huge benefit that you don't get on the REIT side is we can do a cost segregation, which is writing off. If you have a 44-unit apartment building, you can write off 44 stoves, 44 refrigerators, 44 sets of drapes. You can write off all of it, even if it came with the building. You didn't purchase it. You purchased the building and it came with it. Huge tax write-offs. The video will appear on that. Huge tax write-offs, okay, for cost sake. So you can get none of that on the REIT side, all right? Okay, next is an exit strategy, okay? So how do you get your money out of the REIT? Well, two ways, right? You can wait until the REIT ends, right? And then they sell their properties, or you can just go online and get your money out and then zero out your balance. So you have two extra strategies, okay? All right, with an apartment building, we have different extra strategies, right? So we can sell the property, take the money, pay the taxes, right? Or we could do a cash out refi, pull the money out, pull your down payment out, your renovation costs out, keep the property, right? But you have your money out. Or we can do a 1031 exchange. That video will appear on the screen too if you're interested in that type of exit strategy. It's a great way to sell your property and defer any capital gains that you have in a very brilliant way. Okay, all right, and then and there's more. Okay, so you have multiple exit strategies here. Okay, which is riskier, a REIT or buying your own property? Okay, so different ways that REITs can fail. Just like any other property. What if the interest rates go through the roof and they can't refinance the property and they default? That can happen to a REIT, okay? The interest rates and inflation has caused a lot of office REITs, okay? REITs that focus on office buildings to not perform very well, and bank failures as well has caused REITs to not perform, if not fail, okay? So REITs can fail, okay? So which has more risk? The REIT, right? Or if you were to buy your property. I say there's more risk on this side, right? Because you're at risk personally, right? So on the smaller properties, when you're on the commercial properties where you're signing on a loan yourself, you personally guaranteeing a loan, right? If you default, they're coming after you, okay? So the solution to that is to get a non-recourse loan where you're not personally guaranteeing the loan. That's available for commercial property. That's what I recommend you do. But there's a lot more personal risk on this side because you're operating the property, you're meeting the management You're visiting the property, you're handing in taxes, you're doing everything. So there's a lot more risk of that. But which has more potential? Which has more reward? Okay, so it can be argued that the risk reward is the favors on this side because the risk is much lower. They can't come after you personally, but the potential here is to get paid whatever the returns are. That's it. So I don't know, maybe 2% up to 8%, maybe 10%, maybe per year on a good REIT. What is the potential on this side, right? And so I say, because of personal experience, you can get even up to 100% return on your 12-unit apartment building. Some of our students have done that, right? And it took them 3 or 4 years, but they've done it. So you can't do that over here, all right? Because over here you don't own the property. So okay, so you have your practical advantages here. You have your practical advantages there, all right? So which one is for you? I don't know, but I did this video for you so you can see what a REIT is and how it works, and then if you wanted to do your own investing, how it would work. All right, everyone. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to learn more about what we do for our students, go ahead and apply to our Protege program, or go ahead and just subscribe to his YouTube channel and get more videos like this. If you want to learn more about commercial real estate investing, a link to my book will appear right on the screen. Go ahead and download it, Commercial Real Estate for Beginners. All right, thank you everyone so much, and I'll see you at the next video.